Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Now Arctic have released a whole new range of coolers and it does sound quite similar to the last lot actually, because it's still called the Freezer 3 but they've now called these Pro. Now they are still incredible value for money. I've got the thicker version here. It's the 360mm radiator, comes with 3 ARGB 120mm fans that go up to 3000 RPM. All of the cables are actually kind of linked together and daisy chained on the back of the unit itself, but then the cables go through the actual hoses to keep things super tidy. There is a VRM fan on the pump itself. And with the VRM fan and the pump itself, you can either have a cable that comes out into 3 cables. One goes on your AIO pump fan header on the motherboard, one goes on the CPU fan header, and then one goes on to whatever header you would like to control the VRM fan with. I'm gonna say though, I've not connected the VRM fan because I think I don't particularly like VRM fans at all. The only time that they're actually any good is when they're noisy, and if your motherboard actually needs a VRM fan, something's wrong with it, you've bought a bad one, or it's too hot, or it's faulty. It's really, those fans should be for people out there that haven't even got a VRM cooler on their board. But then if your VRMs are getting that hot, then your CPU is probably a little bit over spec for the board and you need to be putting some heat sinks on anyway. But anyway, you've got that option, or there is a single fan, tidier cable option, which is just a single connector, but it means everything is going to be running at the same percentage. So if your CPU fan is set to 50%, your pump will be at 50%, and your VRM will be set at 50% as well. So it is tidier aesthetically, but for control reasons, it's not particularly that great. It does support AMD, so it's AM4, AM5, and that does come with an offset mount, which is going to be great for everyone. But something that did get flagged is it does have an offset mount for Intel. Now, the offset mount for Intel, if you have a look at all of their testing that they've done, has been done on the 285. So it's effectively been designed for the 200 series. 15th gen, whatever you want to call it. Probably the worst Intel launch ever. And I think that's a bit restrictive, because when I did do my testing, I'm using a 14700. Now the 14700 is the rig that I changed to test the original Freezer 3s last year. We swapped it all so that we could test these. And I'm not doing it again because it means I need to restart the graphs and everything again. But we did test the cooler on the 14700, and even though the fans run faster, it was pretty much performing the same as the last gen at max, which set off a bit of alarm bells with us and did make us wonder about the offset, because the offset is 200 specific, and this is the only mount in the box. It does come with a lovely mounting frame, so you take your CPU retainer off the motherboard and you bolt this down, so it's got a lot going for it. But the offset for anything other than 200 series could and is a slight problem. So what I did do was go and get the old 200s out, which I still had in the Shedio, and I then retested with the non-offset frame. And we lost like 3 to 4 degrees comfortably, and then suddenly the extra RPMs on the fans then started to make more sense. So effectively what I do need to tell you today is, if you're looking at this as an option for the 13th and the 14th gen, you've got 2 options. You either need to procure one of these from Arctic, and I genuinely do hope they start selling these individually, or allow end users to prove that they've got a 13th or a 14th gen and then they will send them one. Or, and this is the easier option, just go and buy the non-Pro model. Because the Pro one, I'm going to say, is just 200 specific or aimed at it. It will still work with a 13th and a 14th gen. It's just going to be a slightly bit more limited. It's not going to perform as well. Or you can just go and grab this one, which will still be available, and that is definitely more suited for 13th and 14th gen. I think it's going to be a shame if they don't give people the option of changing the frame for a non-offset mount though, because if you do that, it makes life loads easier and you do get the best of all of the worlds. Now this is the 360 with a thicker radiator. They do a 240 as well. This model being £90 is an absolute bargain. Like, it's such good value for money, it's unreal. And it's only really this mounting frame with the offset that is its Achilles heel. But other than that, I think it's incredible value for money. You definitely should be considering it if you're trying to keep costs down. Well, they do white and black, but you want a nice white cooler and you don't mind just not connecting the VRM fan, because it's just, I don't like it, but it's obviously up to you. Anyway, I've done the testing so that you don't have to. This gets value for money award. Arctic, please make this non-offset bracket available for everyone, because it's should have been in the box, I think, or you should have come up with a better way of being able to have had both as an option for everyone at home. But anyway, for now at least, this is the tiniest one with the Arctic Freezer Pro 3 and me giving you the information that you needed to know before you bought one. Anyway, that's me out. Ding!